And then we will be using the chat function for any questions or comments, anything about the brands. We do have a registered dietitian with us. Hi, Maggie. So if you want to ask any questions, she's here for that as well, and any questions about the product as well. So let's get started. How are you doing today, Maggie?
Good. How are you? I'm so excited to be cooking in the kitchen, and this is such a nutritious and easy meal to make. So I feel like it's a good one to have in your back pocket when you're like, what should I make for lunch today? What should I make for dinner? It's quick and checks all the boxes.
Exactly. Yeah, on their website it said it was like 10 minutes or less, and I'm like, this is great. It's so easy to make. Everything's like microwavable if you really want to, so an easy office snack if you're back in the office, or an easy home lunch or dinner. I'm super excited to try these.
Me too.
Awesome. Good. So you said that you were familiar with the brand before, so you cooked a couple recipes with, so what Path of Life does is quinoa. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I really like Path of Life because I feel like they shortcut the process of making quinoa. And quinoa is an ancient grain that is very nutritious. It contains different B vitamins and fiber and plant-based protein. And their pouches are fun because they're flavored in different ways. So today we're using this Mediterranean quinoa blend. It's got tomatoes and spinach and basil in there. And they have a few other really delicious varieties as well. They have one with butternut squash that I love in the fall. And it's a great way too, because if you were to cook quinoa just from scratch, it kind of takes a while. You need to kind of fluff it up. You need the right amount of water in there. And just putting one of these in the microwave, honestly, helps to shortcut your meal in so many different ways because you have a base already there. You could add more veggies to it. You could add protein like chicken or fish on top, or leave it as is and add it to different veggies like we're going to do today, and it's delicious. So that's why I like them. They make it easy, and I really do think it's a great freezer staple. So, you know, I know that there's so much talk about, you know, fresh veggies, fresh everything, and that can feel kind of intimidating when you're making lunch or dinner all the time. It's like, okay, maybe you don't have time to prep everything, you know, from scratch that's fresh and put it all together. Like, this can save you time with that and is just as delicious and nutritious.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's like a little myth of sorts, is like things that are frozen are usually picked at their prime, so they're just as healthy, they're just easier.
Absolutely. That's a huge myth that I hear, and it's something I get asked about a lot is, okay, well, I've heard that frozen vegetables are bad for me, or frozen, you know, medleys or meals are bad for me, and that really isn't the case. I think if you head down the freezer aisle these days, you'd be shocked by the array of healthy choices that there are out there. And when it comes to buying, you know, frozen veggies, you said it, you know, they are picked, excuse me, at the peak of freshness and frozen, and oftentimes less expensive than fresh. So perfect to stock in your freezer.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and especially because these are on sale right now for 2 for $6. So I see that you also got 2, but like they're such great staples and they're on sale right now. So next time you guys head to Jewel, definitely look at Path of Life. They're in the frozen veggies section. So definitely hit them up.
Yes. And I need to get my charging cord before we start cooking. So I don't want this to go down on me. I'm going to get that cord. One sec.
Exactly. Well, while she's doing that, I'll tell you a little bit more about Path of Life. So they are family owned for the past 5 years. So I love this brand, and I know that Maggie does too. She's worked with them before, but they have so many different varieties at Jewel. I think they have like 7. I know in general they have 9+ different flavors and stuff, but at Jewel specifically, I think they have 5 to 7, depending on your store. So definitely check them out. They have so many different medleys and everything, like she said, like ancient grains. I have this like Tuscan blend, so that's super exciting. But yeah, tonight we'll be messing with some zucchini spirals. I got mine from a box, but I think Maggie's gonna do hers like manually with a little spiral. So I'm excited to see how that works because I've not used one before. So I went the easy route with the zucchini spirals.
Yeah, so little plug for this thing. It's actually just a handheld spiralizer, and it's such a useful cooking tool if you do like zucchini noodles and like to have them spiralized. I think it was like $5 on Amazon. and I've used it for years and it's totally great. So, but it is nice that you can buy them already spiralized as well.
Exactly, and they were right next to the Path of Life brand items. So I was like, oh, this works out perfectly. Like one and done. They were all right there. So it was awesome.
Yeah, and actually I was listening to you talking as I was plugging the cord in, and I wanted to mention as well about Path of Life is that you can use them in a variety of ways. So as I mentioned before, I've created some recipes with them in the past, and actually one of my favorite ones that I just remembered was I used the quinoa medley, and it was the one with butternut squash and kale, I believe, and I put it in a frittata. And so it was just the egg mixture, and then I cooked the bag and I put that in with the egg mixture, and then I baked that, and it came out so good. It was super fluffy. I mean, it was a high protein breakfast that I could make ahead and have for the next couple days. So you can really do so much with them.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to get started with our meal that we have today. So what do we want to start with?
I'm thinking I might have to start with the zucchini for me because it might take a while. If you want to microwave while I do that, since I've already pre-microwaved my Path of Life Mediterranean blend.
There you go. Yeah, we got options here. Everything that I'm making tonight can be done in the microwave, so that's super nice. With the Path of Life, it only takes, what, 4 minutes? How long we got? 1 minute. Wow, super fast. All right.
We do have a question.
Ooh.
So Rhonda's asking, when buying frozen, is organic better, or can you buy regular, and are there no added preservatives or additives?
So I'm assuming this is just regarding like vegetables and fruits frozen. You know, when you're buying a frozen bag, you should just see the frozen item. It should just be one ingredient. So if it's frozen blueberries, you should just see blueberries. You know, it kind of organic a little bit depends on your preference. In most cases, I see nothing wrong with conventional produce, and I think you can buy that frozen, and it's a great healthy option. You know, I know there's a lot of talk about the dirty dozen or the dirty 12 that you should avoid. And so that's kind of up to you. Like if you feel like those fruits and veggies may be better off organic for you, I think that that's a great option too.
So, yeah, we've heard a lot about the Dirty Dozen during this like event series with Lifestyle and Wellness and everything. So what are some of the Dirty Dozen? I feel like I haven't heard any specifics yet.
Yeah, so the two that I always think about, and you know, I kind of go back and forth a little bit too, because I wash my stuff, and I know that doesn't, you know, it just maybe scratches the surface, especially if we're talking about, you know, pesticides and all of that. So strawberries and apples are two that come to mind for me that I know are on the list for sure. And, you know, it depends. I feel like sometimes organic apples can be pretty expensive. And so it's like, okay, do you want to pay extra for that? It's up to you. So, but those are two things that I make sure, you know, I'm washing really well and kind of watching out for if I'm going to buy and deciding if I want to do organic or not.
Exactly. Yeah, with so many selections at Jewel, like it's easy to kind of choose what looks good at the time and everything.
Absolutely.
How's your zucchini spiraling going? It looks good.
Really well. I mean, guys, these are some beautiful spirals just from a very simple handheld tool. And you know, one thing that you can also do with zucchini noodles, obviously adding them to this Path of Life medley is a great idea, but if you're kind of like, oh, that's not the same as pasta, I recommend mixing them in with the pasta that you're having as just a fun way to give it more texture and nutrition and warm up to zucchini noodles a little.
Exactly. Yeah, I've not actually had zucchini spirals before, so I'm excited to try them out.
Yeah, you might be buying them a lot more after this.
Here we go. Yeah, I'm definitely a pasta person. Like, I had butter noodles 6 times last week, so like, I have a preference, clearly. But I'm very excited to try these for a healthier substitute than just butter noodles. So.
Yeah, I really love that this meal comes together really quickly. And I think it's perfect for those days when the day kind of gets away from you and it's like 5 you're kind of pretty hungry already and you're wondering what to eat. You're looking through your pantry and your fridge. Nothing sounds good. You're getting, you're drawing a blank because you don't know what you'll make. I think, having something like this and these ingredients on hand just makes it easy, and you're getting something that tastes good and is good for you.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's the best part about Path of Life, because yeah, it is so easy and convenient, and like it's just ready for you whenever you're hungry. Because I know that I'm a hangry person, so like if I'm hungry, I'm like, okay, I need food now, or like snacks. So like this is great because it's ready in 5 minutes, ready to go, and all you need is this and like a fresh veggie.
Totally. And, I know it really depends on your job and whatnot, but if people are, heading back into the office or more of an office structure, most places have a microwave. So you can easily like, throw this in there, in the future when we do go back to offices, or if you're back in your office now and kind of wondering what to have for lunch.
Exactly. Yeah, quick and easy. So that's always good.
Yeah.
And then I'm cutting up some fresh corn for this medley, so I'm super excited. I love that they're like coming back in season now, so everything's fresh and super yummy.
Yeah. I think eating with the seasons is definitely one way to, have some more fun in your food life and kind of get out of a rut if you feel like you're not really sure what sounds good. I always say like draw from the flavors of the season to give you a little inspiration.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that, like that mentality though too, because then you get the freshest food and it switches it up. Because I'm definitely like guilty of like eating broccoli all the time, and then like yeah, that's my veggie of the day, and then it's the veggie of every day. So switching it up definitely is key, especially when every day you're working at home, so you need a little something to switch it up.
Right. Actually, you may find this kind of funny, as I am a dietitian, but I do not like broccoli at all. Like, I will choose cauliflower over broccoli any day. I don't know why, but I've never been a broccoli fan.
How about Brussels sprouts? How about our other green friends?
I feel like if those are done, cooked the right way, sometimes I feel like they're a little too harsh on my stomach, so I, tend to avoid. But cauliflower is cruciferous as well, and I don't feel that way, so maybe yeah, those two are like on my I can tolerate list, but not my fave.
There we go. What is cruciferous? Is that like how they're grown, or?
So it's like their classification. So broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage and Brussels sprouts. I believe cabbage. I'm for sure on those other three cruciferous vegetables.
We have a question.
Ooh.
Rhonda is transitioning to a vegetarian diet. Is quinoa something she could have every meal, or should she have it at every meal?
Yeah, so as long as you don't get sick of it, you could definitely have it at every meal. I think quinoa is great, especially if you are transitioning to a vegetarian diet. As I mentioned, quinoa has plant-based protein, so that's going to be something that you definitely want to watch as you transition to vegetarian, your protein for the day. And it contains fiber, which is important for satiety and digestion, and those B vitamins. So that is something that you could become at risk for with a vegetarian diet, is a B deficiency. So just something to think about. I know some people on a vegetarian diet supplement with a B supplement, which is great. But quinoa is a good source of those B vitamins as well. So something to keep in mind.
Yeah, definitely
Awesome.
a more natural way to get it, and healthier too, because it's got a bunch of other like good stuff to it.
Yeah, and I think too, vegetarian or not, I do think that going meatless, at least for one day of the week, is not only great for the environment, but is good for the diet as well. And so having these in your freezer can definitely help you do that.
Exactly.
Getting a little message
Yeah,
here.
I'm a big fan of meatless Mondays. So.
Yeah.
And then Maggie, can you update us on where you're at in the recipe? And then Steph, can you give us an update?
Yeah, I was just going to give you a little close-up shot here. So if you can see I tossed the Path of Life Mediterranean Blend with the spiralized zucchini noodles. And now I'm just cutting my olives in half and tossing them in there as well. I did my corn before this, so I'll just toss that in there next.
Yeah, it's really easy assembly. And then, John, you can paste the recipe in the chat function, but it's all very easy to put together. So we just used, how many cups of zucchini?
I think it was 4 cups.
4 cups.
4 cups. I had like 2 medium-sized zucchini, and I think that was probably 3.5 cups. It could have been 4 cups. But that seems like more than enough when tossing with this medley.
I feel like this is one of those recipes you can kind of like freestyle a little bit, because like you don't need exact measurements of anything. It's kind of just like, I feel like this needs that much.
Yeah, you can kind of eyeball it.
Exactly. That's how I like to cook, because I just like throw things everywhere and I'm like, yeah, that looks good. So that's how I cook.
That's not a bad way to cook. I was also going to say, like, obviously this flavor combination with the Mediterranean blend is super good and it really goes well together. But, you know, depending on what you have at home, I feel like you could easily toss this together with different veggies that you might have, which is also the beauty of it. If you have, you know, different cheese versus these like mozzarella balls, maybe you have a bigger chunk of mozzarella, you could cut that up and put it in there. So there are some easy swaps and substitutions that still keep this really flavorful and fun.
Exactly. Yeah, so where I'm at in the recipe is I have just finished with my corn. The Path of Life is done microwaving, so it's all heated up and everything, so I'll open that. And then I am currently fixing the veggie spirals for the zucchini. So, yay. And then next we're doing Kalamata Olives.
Yeah.
Awesome.
How did the zucchini cook, Steph? That was frozen.
Yes, so that is in the microwave right now. It is also another 5 minutes, because even though I have access to a stove, it's very hot in here already. So I've decided to microwave. Yes, cooking in the kitchen is very warm. So we took the easy way out. So that's another 5 minutes in the microwave. Like we said, very easy recipe. Everything can be done in the microwave, and that's how I like it. So I'm gonna pour the quinoa into my bowl and then assemble the rest of it. What are we doing with the olives? Are we cutting those in half?
I did. So I just cut them in half, like not perfectly, but just, you know, sliced in half, and I just tossed those in there. And it looks really pretty with the corn. I mean, you're getting that green, you're getting the quinoa, you're getting the yellow, and the kind of purpley Kalamata olives, which I love olives. So I was so excited to see them in this recipe.
Yeah, that's good color. So I like that it's like, I like colorful food. It definitely makes me feel healthier when it's like multiple colors, not just all like, not all green, because veggies are hard, but this makes it easy because there's already veggies in here, so.
Yeah, and maybe it's something you could think about adding to the butter noodles, like different colored veggies to just jazz them up a little next time you're doing those.
Yeah.
We have a couple questions coming in. I don't know if this is possible, but can you prevent the zucchini from watering too much?
So is that like pertaining to the fresh zucchini when you use it, or frozen? Fresh?
I think fresh.
Yeah. So when you spiralize it and use it raw in a salad like this, I don't find that it, you know, that there's a ton of water release from it in this way raw. But if you're cooking it on the stove and you've done this with a fresh one and it's raw and you cook it on the stove, you will sometimes get like more water come out on the pan that you're sauteing it on. You know, honestly, I keep going back to this tool, but it spiralizes them a little bit thicker. So I feel like you don't get like as much water. At least I feel like I don't when I use this. Because I have heard people say that. They're like, oh, I'm trying to like zucchini noodles, but they're so watery when I saute them on a pan. So, I mean, I would say if you're adding oil, you know, like, I don't know. You could potentially try to squeeze off some of the water with a paper towel too. I know anytime I'm adding zucchini to like a baked good, I'll squeeze the water off and shred it. So that could potentially work with the spiralized way too.
Gotcha. And that's a good segue. Somebody asked, where did you get your tool?
This was from Amazon.
Nice.
Under $10 for sure.
That is a good tool to have in the kitchen.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
we have another one. Is quinoa easier to digest than rice?
You know, I don't know about that when it comes to digestion when you're looking at quinoa versus brown rice. I have heard that when you choose sprouted varieties of brown rice or quinoa, that can be a little bit easier to digest for some people. I can't say that it's 100% across the board. I know that those sprouted varieties are often more expensive, so it's kind of like, okay, something to decide on there. But in terms of digestion, I think they're, pretty much the same. I don't think one is more easy to digest than the other.
Gotcha. And the last question for now. Did you have to rinse the quinoa?
No. So with this, in this freezer pack already, in this pouch, you don't have to rinse anything. You simply put this whole thing in the microwave. You don't even have to cut it or make any holes. You just put it down, face down in the microwave for 5 minutes. And then you have to be careful because it comes out hot. So you'll just like let it cool for a few minutes, cut it open, and that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it definitely takes some guesswork out of quinoa. Like, I know in the past when we've made it for these programs is like, you have to have a certain amount of water and then like rinse it, steam it, let it sit, fluff it only a certain amount of times. It's like whole science. And this just makes it so easy.
That's the thing, is it's kind of like a high maintenance grain to cook because you do have to make sure you're using the right amount of water and you don't like overcook it because it will truly ruin your pan because it'll really stick to it if it doesn't have enough water to cook in, which is why, you really got to watch it. But with these, they've done all the hard work for you.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just such a great brand, great product. So, and like we said earlier, like it's non-GMO certified and like gluten-free. So if you've got any like allergen like issues, this is good for that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the other thing. I mean, it fits on a wide variety of diets. I, work with a lot of different people who have a lot of different dietary restrictions, or, they're looking for shortcuts that can save them time when they are trying to make a meal, but they have these certain, dietary restrictions that they need to follow at the same time. So these are one of the products that I always feel really confident recommending because I know, they don't contain anything beyond what you see on the ingredient label, and everything you see on the ingredient label is very wholesome. It's whole food based. It's exactly what you see on the package.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's everything that you can read. Like there's no dextrose, anything. It's just simple ingredients.
Yeah. It's funny because I don't know what grocery store I was at, or where I was shopping the other day, but I picked up like it was just claimed to be a plain quinoa pouch, and it actually did have other ingredients and salt and sugar in there. And I was just thinking, like, if you just were to pick that up because you wanted quinoa and you didn't read the ingredients, you would not know that like there was all these other things in there. So sometimes it is important to read labels and stuff and check it out because it could have beyond what you just kind of see in the picture, but not with these.
Exactly. Yeah, we were kind of looking at the new nutrition labels as their dual panels, and I feel like that's a relatively new thing that's happened. So
I know. I feel like, it's great that we're kind of like transitioning to obviously like more information on the label, but on the other hand, I feel like it could be slightly confusing. You're reading, you don't know what to look for. So, a good place to start obviously is I like to take a look at, added sugars, things like that. And the beauty of the new label is that those things are really spelled out. You can see, okay, what is added to this product. What's cool on this label too is that you can see per 4th cup or per 1 1/4 cup, and then per package, you can see calories, and you can see carbs and everything. So you can kind of get a sense, you know, if you're having a portion of it or if you're making the whole entire package.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. Go ahead.
The zucchini, I was like, I have my mozzarella balls ready to go, but I'm going to wait until we're on the same step.
I am almost there. Yeah, I'm scooping the zucchini. There's some.
Perfect, because we have a question.
Okay.
How would blanching the zucchini instead of sauteing it, is that another option for cooking it? Do you like it that way?
Yeah, we'll definitely blanch it. I've never blanched zucchini noodles before, but I'm assuming they would turn out. They might not be as crispy as when you saute them from raw. So don't quote me on that. I don't know how they will turn out exactly, but I think that could work.
Yeah, maybe a really quick blanch.
Very quick.
1 second blanch.
So.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer any other questions, and these have been some really great questions. I do think zucchini is an awesome vegetable, and anytime I'm getting my groceries at Jewel, I literally buy 6 at a time, because I'll just spiralize some in a meal like this, or I will cut some up and throw them in a stir fry, and I'll shred them and put them in baked goods. So I'm a huge zucchini fan.
Exactly. Awesome. So mozzarella.
We
need a 4th cup?
I think it was 1 cup.
4th cup. Oh, goodness.
1 cup.
Awesome. I am just everywhere today.
Yeah, so I'm just going to sprinkle these on. And these are super fun. I like these little bite-sized mozzarella balls.
Yeah, the little pearls. I don't think I've ever seen them fresh before. And so it was really fun to see the juice of it. And I was like, oh wow. So that's how you know they're fresh.
Yeah. I know. I'm trying to not let all of that liquid into the lid.
I picked it up with a fork. That was my straining technique. I was like, all right, this is gonna work.
Yeah. You almost need a strainer.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab tongs to.
And then are you tossing these within the salad, or are they sitting on top?
I was kind of tossing within. It's kind of mixing everything up. I just grabbed a pair of tongs just to really make sure all the olives are spread out and the cheese, but I think they'd be good on top as well.
There we go. A little extra bonus if you want more cheese to your
Yeah.
Yeah, these tongs are working much better than the fork I was using, so that's a good light tip.
Work as well.
Awesome. All right. So I think we're almost done, right?
Yeah, so I think all we have left is some balsamic on top.
Mm-hmm.
I've got mine pre-measured here.
Well, I'm just going to freestyle it. Oh, wow, that smells good.
I can kind of show you guys what mine looks like. If you can see, I'll get closer actually. Maybe you can see here.
Yum.
Product.
Awesome. I'll present mine. I'm going to put more cheese on top because I am a cheese fan. So here is.
Can't go wrong with that. Ooh.
Ta-da! All nicely shifted around and everything.
That's a cute plate as well. That is a cute plate.
Thanks. It's a whole set. I'm very proud of that. It's my first adult purchase. It's like a full plate set. There we go. Awesome. What else we got? It was just that easy.
I think that was it.
Perfect. Yeah, that was super fast. For the audience at home, it literally was 5 minutes in the microwave and just some shifting around, and we're good to go.
I feel like it could have been faster, but we were just chatting through everything. So if you're making it in a hurry, it could work faster as well.
Exactly. Yeah, if you're in a rush, it's very fast, especially if you get the frozen zucchini. So that was good too. But fresh, of course, is always best. Always better. There you go. But awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us. Do you guys have any final questions? We've got a registered dietitian, so any questions are fair game. But
Nothing coming in yet.
you can come in.
Rhonda said she loves zucchini everything, and she likes to make zucchini pizza bites.
Ooh.
That sounds delicious, Rhonda. I'm going to need to get that recipe.
Exactly. Yeah, we always get these great like recipe suggestions, and I'm like, so you're cooking? Right. What can we do that? Yeah, exactly.
On you.
There we go. Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's it. No more questions rolling in.
There we go. Well, thank you all for joining us. And make sure to get some Path of Life products. They are 2 for $6 at Jewel for, I think, until the 26th. For a little while, at least until halfway, another week or so. So make sure to get them soon and just have them in your freezer ready to go. So super tasty, super delicious. Maggie, do you want to try yours?
Yeah.
Yes, take a bite.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, we should do a little fork cheers before. Fork cheers?
Here we go. I gotta get a little bit of everything. Let's see.
Cheers.
Some zucchini. Oh gosh.
The olives, like, so good together.
Mm-hmm.
Everything comes together really nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Looks great.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for watching me make dinner because we're going to enjoy this tonight.
I'm still chewing.
Yeah, no more questions rolling in. So I think that we are good. Ashley from Path of Life is here. She says, thanks everyone for joining.
Ashley.
Everyone saying thank you. Everyone enjoyed. So yeah, I think we're good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone. And make sure to pick up some Path of Life. And if you want more recipes, Path of Life has a ton on their website. So feel free to check those out. And then Maggie also does a ton of recipes as well. So check out her Instagram at Once Upon a Pumpkin. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.